Hello everyone and welcome to the next in our series of Daily Origami for YouTube. Today we're going to continue with our theme of looking at some traditional origami, and today we're going to make a really simple kind of basic kind of kusudama. Now this particular origami you do need glue to kind of put everything together. It is a traditional origami, so back then they obviously allowed a little bit of glue to help put things together. Kusudama almost always needs glue and or needle and thread to make everything come together usually. So if you think that's not fair, then you probably don't want to do this particular origami. But for this one, what you're going to be needing is 6 pieces of paper. And what we're going to start off with is by making kind of like a medallion shape, and then we piece them all together. I've done this origami before. It's the starting point for some really fun origami that Tomoko Fusei has in one of her books, where she starts with this traditional model and then she made some things that you can add to it. So I'll try to link to the book if you're interested in looking at some of the things she adds to that. I used to have the videos for that, but she asked me to take all that down, so I can't share that with you guys today. But I can show you guys at least this basic kind of kusudama, and then you can have some fun playing around with it too. So the paper I'll be using is just 15 by 15 centimeters. You can use any size really, but you do need 6 pieces, and then we'll put them all together to get our finished kusudama. I'll show you guys how to fold one, and then in the end you want to get these pieces that look something like this. And then at the end we just bend down the corners, and we use these little edges here as the points where we add the glue so that we can make our finished balls. So let me show you guys how to make this here with our paper. What we want to do is we're going to start off trying to get to a double boat base. And to do that, there's lots of different ways you can do that, but what I like to do is start with my color side facing down. Go ahead and fold your paper in half. And fold it the other way as well. Once you've done that, go ahead and fold into the center, doing what we call a door base. Do that from both directions. Just use those creased edges as a guide. Open everything up and go the other way too. And this will give us a set of creases that'll help us with the next step. So get all that kind of folded into the center. Then go ahead and open everything up, and we're going to flip it over so that we're looking at the red side facing up. Take each of the 4 sides and fold them into the center. And just go around and do this all 4 times. Then go ahead and flip everything back with the white side facing up, and we're just going to use the creases that we have here naturally. Kind of have it look like a diamond. We're just going to pull on opposite sides here, and you should have this little part that poofs out. Put a little pressure right there on the top, and you can smoosh everything down to get this nice little diamond shape or square shape, depending on which way you're looking at it. And we're just going to turn around and keep doing that, where we just push the inside and put this part flat down. This last part, if you push right here from the middle in, you should get the 2 little poofy parts, and just put pressure on both of those until they lay flat. A nice easy way to kind of make sure everything lays flat and straight is to just flip it over and put some pressure on all the sides, kind of smooth out every edge, and that will give you these 4 little squares that we can then use to create the little kind of accents to make this medallion-like shape. Now, I find that a lot of times it's easier to fold these sides if we can open everything up for a second here. So I just like to kind of leave this open so it's not in my way. And then we're going to take each of these sides here, and first I just want to really mark off where my center is. So I'm going to just fold everything in half, get a really good crease going right in the middle, open it back up again, then take that outer bottom edge and roll it into the center. So we get this nice little triangular shape here. I'm going to do the same thing on this side too. So you get a little kite shape. And then I'm going to open up the pocket area that you see right here and put a little pressure on the creased edge there at the top and push it down until it lines up with this edge that's underneath here, so that you get this nice extended diamond shape here with a nice little red triangle on top and white triangle space on bottom. I'm going to do the same thing on this side too. So we get something that looks like this. And that's the finished area that we're looking for with this. Now, I can go ahead and turn around and get back to one of these sides here. I'm just going to leave the rest of this flat out so that it's not in my way. And again, I'm just going to fold over first so that I can get my center marked off. Then open it up and fold into the center for both sides. Then go ahead and pop these areas open from that little pocket area so that it smushes down into this nice little shape. Now these last ones, this might still be kind of in the way, so you can kind of extend it out like so, so that it's kind of out of the way. And then we can focus just on this side. Again, let's get this folded in half so we can find where our center is, and then fold each of these sides into the center. These particular medallions work really great if you can use some gold foil paper. You get this really pretty design. Kids in Japan use these a lot when they're making medals for like sporting events and such in their class. If they want to award a medal for something, this is a really common origami to make because the result is a little round, and you also get this kind of cool little like jewel-like effect to it. So last little one here, we just push that in, and if you did extend it like I did, you get that center crease, or you can fold it over again too, either way. I'll get this last one folded in. And then push it out. So you should get something then that looks like this. And that's the finished kind of part of that. Now to get it to look more like a medallion and to get it rounded off, what we're going to do is just take these top corners and create a crease that goes between these two peaks by just folding back. And you can go around and do that for all four sides so that we get a nice, basically an octagon shape, but it has a more rounded feel so that it looks more like an actual kind of medallion. And if you are just making a medallion, this is kind of the finished point, and then you can kind of attach that to a string if you like, if you're making this as an award for people. But if we're going to now go on, and let me just tell you guys first really quick the dimensions of this. This little guy is about 7.5 centimeters across, which makes sense. It's half the size of the paper we started with. And that's just for one of those. Now, you want to go ahead then and make 6 of these. And I've got 2 of them already folded over, but you want to make sure, of course, that all these points are folded over. And then we're just going to take some glue and try to connect to these. What you wind up getting is more of kind of, not a perfectly round ball-like shape, but a 6-sided kind of ball, if you will. More like a cube, but with the sides not being perfect, you know, they're octagon shaped instead of square shaped, so it kind of creates the illusion of being more round than cube in shape, I suppose. But and like I said, Tomoko Husei has really cool directions in one of her books about how to kind of add pieces to tuck into these little pocket areas, and you can make then your ball even more decorative. So you can kind of keep that in mind as an idea. You know, even just something as simple as cutting a square to fit into those little sides can be really nice, and you can add some cool effect to everything. Or you can just make something smaller. You could even make just this medallion smaller and just tape it right in the middle there too, either way. So let me get my little glue stick here. You just want to start off with one of these sides, put a little bit of glue here, and then connect it to another side. And it's pretty simple. That's all you do. Kind of make sure you're using some glue that you can work with quickly, or you know, take a second to make sure everything is sticking right. But you want to get it to come together so that you get one of the sides to your ball. And we're just going to kind of go around. Once you've gotten one there, the next one you're going to be able to connect in 2 spots here and here. So let me make sure this is completely connected first. And then I'll do this side too. And they've already popped apart. if you're doing this in a super big hurry, you don't have a lot of time to wait to glue to dry, or you're nervous if the glue you're using is not very strong, you can also use a bit of tape to just get these parts connected so that you don't have any trouble with it kind of coming apart later. I'll go ahead and do that here just so that we don't have to wait for the glue to dry while I'm trying to show you guys how to do this. But I mean, like I said, you can do this either just straight up with tape, or you can use just a little bit extra to make sure everything kind of comes together the way you want it to. It's kind of up to you. I'll go ahead and show you guys the next part here. So we've got these two, we've got one of the corners kind of completed here with that bit of glue. The tape, the one downfall to just taping is that things kind of create an open seam there. So it's probably good to glue and tape at the same time if you can, if you're in a hurry, just to try to keep things looking prettier. So we've got those two sides completed now, and I'm going to go ahead now and just put the glue on these other sides to kind of finish it off. If you really get a good crease going too, you can kind of get things to come together pretty good. So we've got 4 of the 6 sides complete, and we're just going to do this bottom side here, and then I'll put the last piece on. And the nice thing about this Kusudama is that it does have these kind of little small triangular pockets or holes where you can then reach in still to kind of piece things together. Sometimes with some kind of cubular sort of origami that are like this that fit together, it can be a little frustrating to try to get everything pieced together right because there's not much room to work with for that. But this is a pretty nice, easy sort of Kusudama for beginners even, that you don't have to be super talented or have super tiny hands or anything to be able to get it together. And then we'll just flip it over, and these are the last 4 points here that we'll then put our glue on. And I think these particular Kusudama look so pretty. You can use them, make them small and use them as like Christmas ornaments. I think they look really pretty like that. Or you can you know, keep them this size and hang them for the ceiling. Really decorative kind of thing that you can use for all through the whole year actually. I think these look really awesome around 4th of July. They look really cool for summertime kind of picnics and celebrations at night outside too, to create a really cool little, really easy little Kusudama. So that's all of them put together there, and gives you sort of this cool little finished piece. And that's sort of the finished deal. So again, just 6 pieces of paper to make this, and in the end you get your very own Kusudama. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.